Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters, who come in with a record of 24-26 in third place. 4 games behind the front-running Barnstormers in the Freedom Division. They take on the Blue Crabs, who are in second place, a game and a half back of Lancaster. They are 26-23. Tonight, the Skeeters send out their right-hander Bobby Blevins, 4-2 with a .450 ERA against fellow righty Brian Grenning, who is 3-1 with a .288 ERA. Today is game number 51 of the season, home game number 28. You can hear all the action, both home and road, for all 140 games right here on 1560 AM. Hi, I'm Ira Lieben, joined again by Andy Humphrey, and there's no way to go around it, Andy. Certainly a power outage here at Constellation Field. Skeeters have just scored 1 run in the last 23 innings, and the hitting isn't much better behind that.
Well, certainly not. They've only batted 156 in those last 22 innings. They are 12 for 27. That is no bueno. 161 batting in the last 2 games. They've only mustered 10 base hits over the last 2 against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Credit the Blue Crabs pitching. They've had some starters go pretty deep and put together some pretty good performances, but there are a lot of missing pieces, especially Andy Wilkins, who we have gone over and over the last couple of games since he's been signed to the Twins organization. This team has sorely missed him in these last couple of games.
No question. Those last 18 innings without him, and only 1 run during those 18 innings without him. Oddly, that the last 5 innings of the game he played in, the Skeeters didn't score either, so it's obviously been tough with Wilkins. But one guy who is hitting, and that's Anthony Jansanti, extended his hitting streak to 26 games. He is now 5 games short of tying the Atlantic all-time record of 31 straight games for a hitting streak.
It's something that you have to ride on, and the rest of the lineup has to see the things that Anthony Jansanti has been putting together and try to support him behind in the lineup, because he's been batting first for the last couple of games. Now this lineup has to try and pick him up and bring him around to score. He's only scored 1 run in this series, and he's batted 4 for 12. So the rest of the lineup does have to do their part at the same time that Anthony Jansanti has been keeping his hitting streak going.
Oddly enough, usually when you're on a hitting streak, it usually kind of the team rallies around you. Even a team that's not that good usually plays a lot better. There's more attention to it. Remember when Paul Molitor was on his streak, he was in the high 30s, and the Brewers were not a good team. They started playing better. You think maybe this catches on a little bit as the team and even Jansanti is a little bit more aware of it as he gets closer to that record?
Yeah, maybe, and you definitely want to try and treat it, one game at a time, and it's a big cliche that these players like to use, but that sort of routine is something that is normal to them, and they have to try and treat it all separately, to try and go day in and day out to keep that consistency going. And Jansanti, credit to him that he's been able to keep that going with that long period of time that he's had that hitting streak as well. He's had an injury in between, but it hasn't stopped him.
Well, the Skeeters need to get consistent starting pitching. They finally got some good pitching yesterday, and that was Michael Nix, who in 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, did not factor in the decision. Another good start went to waste for Nix. Well, the national anthem is ready to get underway here, so we will duck out when we come back. The starting lineups and the first pitch. It is time to play ball when we return right here to Constellation Field in a moment.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets roared glad, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who come in 26 and 23. Starting lineup brought to you by our good friends at
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Daniel, ready to get this game going. Take it
For
out.
a home loan. Member Source, a complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is the switch hitting Jose Lozada. He'll be at third. At short, it's Edwin Garcia. He'll bat second. Zach Wilson, the DH, bats third. The cleanup hitter, Michael Schneider, at first. Corey Vaughn in center bats fifth. Devin Rodriguez batting sixth. He'll be in left. In right field, Zach Cohn bats seventh. Batting eighth, Ryan Wiggins, the catcher. And batting ninth, second baseman Brian Bistain.
In the field for the Skeeters, from left to right in the outfield, it's Oliveira, Miller, and Jan Santi. Left side of the infield, Brian Pounds at third base, Kevin Aarons at shortstop. Right side, Travis Scott at first, and Josh Prince at second base. The battery, Albert Cordero will get the start behind the plate tonight for the right-hander on the mound, Bobby Blevins.
Well, Blevins in his last start pitched very well despite suffering the loss. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, but a few of those runs at the end. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 84 pitches, 52 for strikes. In his last 3 starts, he is 2-1 with a 2.42 ERA. Blevins is 32 years old, 6 foot 200 pounds, originally from Syracuse, New York. Selected in the 13th round by the Angels in 2007 out of Lemoyne College in Syracuse, New York. Against the Blue Crabs this season, just 1 start, and that start was his first start of the year on May 4th. In that start, he went 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He has spent time in college at Lemoyne, as I mentioned, and while he was at Lemoyne, and really his overall record, 32 13, a 3.15 ERA while in college. His best season with the Ducks in 2014, 9-5 with a 2.95 ERA. Well, stepping in is the switch hitting Jose Lozada. Lozada 2.15 with a home run and 8 RBIs. First pitch of the ball game from Blevins is a strike down the middle, 0-1, and we are underway. Game 4 of a 6-game series here against the Blue Crabs. Skeeters have lost 2 of the first 3. Blevins kicks and deals the 0-1. This one's swung and hit into right field. That will fall in front of Jan Santi, and he keeps it in front of him as it scurries off a little bit to his right. It's going to be a leadoff single by Lozada. 1 on and none out for Edwin Garcia.
Yeah, it seemed to come off of his leg there, and pretty lucky that it did, because it would have been a misplay and it would have gotten behind him. Lozada has a lot of speed and probably thought about second base there.
Actually, I thought he got past him, but luckily he did keep that one in front of him. Edwin Garcia will step in. Garcia 243, no home runs and 9 RBIs on the season for the right-handed hitting shortstop. They're going to set up inside, righty-righty matchup, and the first pitch here is a strike. No balls in, 1 strike to count. Garcia from Venezuela, originally signed by the Rangers in 2007. Spent the last 2 seasons at AAA with Round Rock while in the Rangers organization. The 0-1 here by Blevins. This one is a little bit low, perhaps. 1 ball in, 1 strike to count here. Take a look at the repertoire here on Blevins after the first pitch, or this next pitch. See where they set up here. If they go back inside, nope, they're going to go away. And a throw to first. Getting back is Lozada. Take a look at Blevins' arsenal here. Now, Bobby has 5 pitches. He features a fastball, a changeup, a curve, a cutter, and a sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Garcia. Just underway here, top of the first, no score. The 1-1 from the Skeeters right-hander is low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. You're wondering about the speed of Lozada that Andy mentioned. Lozada, so far this season, is 6 for 9 in stolen bases. As a team, the Blue Crabs have stolen 53. This one swung and punched into right field. That is a base hit. Rounding second and heading for third. Lozada's going to make it easily, and Jan Santi will have to throw it into second. Not a good start here for Blevins and the Skeeters. First and third and nobody out.
Yeah, both of these base hits haven't really been that hard hit. They've just been little bloops into right field to Jan Santee, and right fielder for the Skeeters has had to run a long way to get to him. He had to run a long way for that one. That's what allowed Lozado to get all the way to third.
Well, now problems with the very good 1-2 punch of Wilson and Snyder, who both have 9 home runs on the season. Wilson comes in as the DH, the right-handed hitting DH, 284. 9 home runs and 37 RBIs. Those 37 ribbies good for third in the league. Let's see if Blevins can pull some magic here and get out of this. A little bit of a crouch by Wilson. They set up away, and this one is tagged into left center field. Going back is Miller. In left center field, he has a beat on it. This will easily score the runner Lozada from third. Garcia will hold it first, and it is 1-0 Blue Crabs here. 3 batters into the first inning.
They pick up right where they left off, and you know the first pitch there that Blevins threw was something that Zach Wilson could do a lot with, and all he really needed to do was drive it pretty long into left center field, and it easily scored the run.
Well, let's see if Blevins can minimize the damage now with the 1-in, 1-out runner at first. They'll take on Michael Schneider, the cleanup hitter, the right-handed hitting first baseman, 279, 9 home runs and 29 RBIs. Back to the usual start time. The Shadows already passed Blevins and making their way to second. Throw to first. Good move there by Blevins. Garcia dives back in head first. Mentioned over 50 stolen bases for this squad. Everyone can steal a few. Garcia himself has stolen 5, been caught just once. Snyder also tied for second in extra base hits with 24. First pitch here by Blevins, low and away, backhanded by Cordero, 1-0. Snyder also third in the league in total bases with 91 and first in the league in doubles with 15. Snyder, of course, homered last night in the second. Gave the Blue Crabs a 1-0 lead. The Skeeters tied it in the 6th, but go-ahead run in the 9th by the Blue Crabs was the winner as they went on to win by that score of 2-1. This one high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. 1-0 Blue Crabs leading here in the top of the first.
Go Skeeters!
Snyder, a former 23rd round pick of the Angels in 2012 out of Florida Southern College. Blevins peeks over his left shoulder at Garcia, leaning towards second, does not go. Swung and a miss. Good off-speed pitch there. Looked like the slider. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, probably could have been the slider or the changeup there, but Blevins needed something to mess up the timing of Michael Snyder. Got the exact right pitch on that one.
Very bright infield. You can see Aaron's on your screen, shading his eyes at short. 2-1, good hit and run count. And they may have him. Just getting back in time. 2-1 with 1 out, a perfect hit and run count. Good batter at the plate. Snyder makes great contact, and I mentioned the speed of Garcia, 5 and 6 in the stolen base department. Blevins does not want to allow any more runs here. The 2-1 here by Blevins. Swung and tagged deep into left field. This could go. Oliveira looking up, and this one is gone. And just like that, it is 3-0 here in the first.
That is 2 homers in 2 games for the big Michael Snyder, doing exactly what a cleanup hitter is supposed to do, and cleans the bases that time. And Snyder with home run number 10 on the season and RBIs 30 and 31.
Not the way the Skeeters wanted to start after scoring just 1 run in the last 23 innings. They are down 3-0 here before they even come to the plate. So in steps Corey Vaughn, 276, 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. And you just kind of think it's going to be one of those streaks where you get good pitching, you don't get good offense. You get good offense, you don't get good pitching. If you get both of them, your defense lets you down. Just looks like it's going to be one of those type of weeks. They set up outside here. This one is a fastball that misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Vaughn is tied for second in the league in runs scored with 32. And he is also tied for third in the league in walks with 29 with Josh Prince. This one is tagged to center field. Miller has a beat on it though, and he'll bring down the liner for the second out. There has not been a softly hit ball here. The two singles by Lozada and Garcia. The sac fly RBI by Wilson was hit deep to center. The home run by Schneider, and this one hit on the nose, also to Miller. 2 down, none on, 3 in. Devin Rodriguez will step in. Rodriguez 368, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs for Rodriguez, who has played in just 26 games. Had he played in 40 games at this point, he'd actually be leading the league in average. In steps the left-handed hitting left fielder. First pitch swung and missed here. Strike one, no balls, and excuse me. But he went through. Guess not. 3 runs on 3 hits here in the first. Blevins kicks, deals, and this one is chopped towards second. This should do it. Prince waits for it, fires it sidearm to first, and that will do it. But not before the Blue Crabs score 3 times on 3 hits. No errors and no one left on base. It is the Blue Crabs 3 and the Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Annie, and she's got quite the cheering section over there in Section 5. Annie's ready to take on Swatson in the Mascot race. Go ahead and take your spot at first base. All right, Swatson's got his lead over there at second. You ready to go? All right, on your mark, get set, go! And they are off. Annie's about over to second base, making the turn. Swatson, what's that? He slipped on a banana peel. Annie, watch out for that. Run right past it. And just like that, Annie's going to win the Mascot race. Better luck next time, Swatson. Back up to you, Shane.
Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for your Sugarland Skeeters. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off, Anthony Jansanti with his 26-game hitting streak. He'll be in right. Josh Prince bats second and plays second. Travis Scott at first. He'll bat third. The cleanup hitter and shortstop Kevin Aarons. Brian Pounds at third base, batting fifth. Hector Oliveira in left, bats sixth. Albert Cordero is behind the dish, batting seventh. Wilfredo Rodriguez is the DH, batting eighth, and batting ninth, center fielder Derek Miller. First pitch here to Jansanti is a ball 1-0, and this one is nubbed, foul just up the third base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jansanti comes in .336, good for 4th in the league. 3 home runs and 16 RBIs, also 4th in the league with 51 base hits, but really all eyes on his 26-game hitting streak, now 5 games short of the Atlantic League record of 31, held by Chris Ashby of York in 2008. This one hit towards short. Garcia has it. He fires it to first, and Jansanti almost beats it out. Good hustle by the Skeeters right fielder. He will not extend his hitting streak in his first at bat.
Well, just by a whisker there. That play was made by Edwin Garcia as at shortstop. His made on the left side of the infield, Jose Lozada. Right side of the infield, Brian Bastain at second, Michael Snyder at first base. Left to right in the outfield, Devin Rodriguez, Corey Vaughn, Zach Cohn. The battery of Wiggins behind the plate for the right-hander, Brian Grenning.
This pitch by Grenning to Prince inside 1-0. Josh comes in .259, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs, tied for 3rd in the league with 29 walks. This one is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Grenning 3-1, a 2.88 ERA. That ERA good for 6th in the league. He's also 3rd in the league in innings pitched at 59 1/3. This one low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Making his 10th start of the year, the 32-year-old is 5'11", 200 pounds from Newport Beach, California. Drafted originally in the 38th round by the Indians in 2008 out of Cal Polytech State University, San Luis Obispo. This one a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last 3 starts, very good, 2-0 with a 1.37 ERA. Last year for Southern Maryland, he was 10-6 with a 3.09 ERA. The 2-2 on the outside corner, strike 3. First strikeout for Grenning, and just like that, 2 down with the Skeeters trailing 3-0 here in the first. Want to bring in Travis Scott, 228, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs for Scott. Grenning, lifetime 71-64 with a 3.89 ERA in a decade of pro baseball. In steps the Skeeters' Travis Scott. Scott in a bit of a slump. Scott just 1 for his last 22, an 0.45 mark over his last 5 ball games. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Grenning's best season back in 2012, 10-5 with a 3.69 ERA, although last season very close. Started his college career at Cuesta College, and he transferred to Cal Poly. College numbers of 6 and 7 with a 4.46 ERA, and Scott asked for timeout here. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, none on, bottom of the first. The Skeeters are down 3-0. A 1-1 here by Grenning. This one inside, and Andy, when you've scored 1 run in the last 23 innings, how devastating is it to be down 3-0 before you even come to the plate?
Just crushing, and you have to try and muster something against this really nice pitcher in Grenning.
That's one down low, 3-1 here to number 16, Travis Scott.
I mean, when you go into a game like this with that kind of slump, and then you see 3 runs up on the scoreboard, you start pressing really hard.
This one down the middle for a strike. That'll run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Again, the Skeeters trailing 3-0 here in the first. Payoff pitch here by Grenning. Swung on and skied to center. Playable. Vaughn goes back and brings it down in right center. And Skeeters are down 3-0. Go 1, 2, 3 here with a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Through 1 inning of play, Blue Crabs 3 and the Skeeters 0.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Nicholas. He's ready to take on the Texas Mattress Makers stolen base race. All right, Nicholas, you see that base all the way out there in right field? You've got 30 seconds to go down and grab it and bring it back to me. Let's put the countdown up on the clock, please. 3, 2, 1, go. And he is off. A little bit to your left, Nicholas. There you go, friends. Sherman, make some noise for him. He's got the base on his way back, all the way back to me. You can do it, about 10 seconds to go. And you have done it with time to spare. Congratulations, Nicholas. You are going to be the winner of the stolen base race, brought to you by Texas Mattress Makers. Back up to you, Shane.
Don't miss Parrothead Night here at Constellation Field on June 24th. After the Skeeters game, stay late and enjoy some classic Buffett music from Jerry Diaz and Hannah Reef as part of our post-game concert series presented by Bud Light. To get your tickets, call 240-HITS or log on to SugarlandSkeeters.com. Southern Maryland leading 3-0 as we move to the top of the second. For the Blue Crabs, here in the top of the second will be the bottom of the order: Zach Cohn, Ryan Wiggins, and Brian Bistain. Cohn 282 home runs and 17 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup here for the Skeeters right-hander Bobby Blevins. First pitch from Blevins is swung and tagged into left field. Going over is Oliveira. He gets to it before he gets to the corner, and he's going to hold Cohn to a long single. Hits just keep on coming for the Blue Crabs.
They sure do, and really the only saving grace for Bobby Blevins is that even though he's faced 7 batters and allowed 4 base hits, he's only thrown 16 pitches. A lot of these hitters are getting out on the first pitch and getting to Blevins early in the count.
Well, Ryan Wiggins will step in. Wiggins an even 200 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs on the season. Let's see if Blevins can avoid more runs here in the second. Skeeters are down 3-0. They set up inside on Wiggins. This one swung back to Blevins. This could be 2. They go to second for 1. They're reeling to first in time. Nicely turned by the Skeeters right-hander. Gonna go down 1-4-3.
And once again on the first pitch, that time Wiggins tried to get Bobby Blevins on the first one as well, but this one was a much different result, and now the inning looks so much different with that big double play off of the first pitch.
And Blevins has been in this league for a number of years. You think Blue Crabs manager John Harris might be saying to his hitters, hey, he's a first ball fastball hitter. Jump on his first pitch.
Absolutely.
Ryan Bistain will step in with 2 outs and none on now as the first pitch is a strike. 0-1 catches the outside corner. Bistain 300, no home runs, no RBIs, playing in just his 5th game, 3 for 10 to start. The 0-1. This one catches the outside corner. Good pitch there by Blevins. Looked like the changeup. 0-2. Perhaps that double play will give Blevins some confidence back here. Now in the sun is Aarons, who is struggling to see. If he moves in just a foot, he's in the shade. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here. Skeeters trailing 3-0 here in the top of the second. Ira Lieben along with Andy Humphrey. Wind blowing in from left center field. The 1-2. Swung and chopped towards third. Right at Pounds. The toss across, he had plenty of time, and that'll do it. So started off with another base hit, but an unconventional 1-2-3 with a single, double play, and ground out. Middle of the second, it is still 3-0 Blue Crabs.
Alrighty, I'm over here in section 20, row D, with the Reed family out here for Little Man's first ever Skeeter game, and they were upgraded to the best seats in the house thanks to Fort Bend Kia.
Hey, thanks so much. Support to keep away cantankerous cabins. Middle dash brought to you by Subtle Smiles.
Celebrate the Skeeters 2016 Atlantic League Championship on Sunday, June 25th at 6:05. The first 2,000 fans through the gates will get a free Skeeters Championship flag. Call said 240 hits or log on to sugarlandskeeters.com. Kevin Aarons will lead it off after the Skeeters went 1-2-3 in the first. They will bat 4, 5, and 6 here. Kevin Aarons, Brian Pounds, and Hector Oliveira. First pitch is a ball 1-0 to Aarons. 290, 5 home runs, 29 RBIs for Aarons. They set up outside, and this one way outside, backhanded by the catcher, Wiggins. 2 balls and no strikes. Aarons 29 ribbies, tied for 8th in the league. He's also 3rd in the league in doubles with 13. The 2-0. He is low and in, 3 balls and no strikes. Grenning making his 148th start of his career and making his 100th with the Blue Crabs. A 3-0 here to Aarons. This one down the middle for a strike, 0-1. 3-1. His first official start of 2006 came in July 3rd against New Britain. A 3-1 swung and foul tipped into the mitt of Wiggins. That'll run the count full 3-2. Spends just about every offseason for the last half dozen years playing in the Australian Baseball League with the Canterbury Cavalry. Made 84 starts with the Cavalry. This one is low ball 4, so the first base runner for the Skeeters is a leadoff man here in the second with Aarons, and that'll bring in Brian Pounds.
You know, what's interesting so far is that the Skeeters have really been able to work counts, which is something that they've done well all season, and they've worked Brian Grenning up to 20 pitches. As a contrast, Bobby Blevins has faced all 9 batters and only thrown 21 pitches through 2 innings.
Skeeters trailing 3-0, trying to chip into that lead with a runner on first and nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Pounds still struggling a bit, 188, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. Takes the first pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes to count. Pounds just 5 for 38 since joining the Skeeters in his first 10 games. The 1-0 here from the right-hander Grenning. They set up away, and this one is a slowly hit ball to third. That'll be a fair ball. They're going to have to hurry to get Pounds, and they just do. Nice play by the third baseman, so 1 third baseman to another. 5-3 on the putout. Aarons goes down to second, however, and runner in scoring position with only 1 away for Hector Oliveira.
I was almost surprised that Lozada picked that ball up at all. He probably had a better chance of letting it roll foul. I didn't think he had a chance to try and throw out Pounds, but he felt that he did, and he made a very nice play to first.
I was surprised he didn't let it go, but I think at that point, if he did, it probably hits the bag or stays fair anyway. He took a chance, and it worked out. Oliveira, 238, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Just everybody in this lineup slumping right now. 6 for 28 in his last 7 games. That's a 214 mark. First pitch a strike, no balls and 1 strike to count. Grenning has spent 3 seasons with the Indians, got as high as AAA in his second year with Columbus. This one is hit to the left side. Staying at second is Aarons, the throw to first in time. Another 5-3 put out, and there's 2 down. I'll bring in Albert Cordero. The switch hitter will bat here from the left side against the right-hander Grenning. Grenning's best outing came on May 25th at New Britain. Tossed a 7-inning complete game shutout, game 1 of a doubleheader. Grenning's pitched well really all year. Thrown 5+ innings in every game this season, including 7 quality starts along the way. Cordero steps in with his team down 3-0. A base hit could make it 3-1 though. This one is a little bit inside, perhaps high as well. 1-0. Get you a little temperature here. 89 degrees. This one is tagged down the left side. That'll hook foul, however. Humidity 66%, a 15-mile-an-hour wind. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here on Cordero. Skeeters trailing 3-0 here. One ball and 1 strike to count. This one is swung, and that's going to get under the glove of the diving second baseman Bistain. Scoring is Aarons, and the Skeeters trail just by 2 now, 3-1.
Well, that's the first base hit, and maybe even a seeing eye single. That's something that the Skeeters need to build off of, and something that just sneaks through that middle part of the infield there. And they have to try and keep this line going here with that RBI single from Cordero.
Well, in says Wilfredo Rodriguez, perhaps the hottest Skeeters hitter right now. Rodriguez has hit in 7 of his last 8 games, going 10 for 28, 357 mark during that span, 8 RBIs and 5 runs scored. This one is low and in. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Let's see if the Skeeters can keep this moving here. Derek Miller on deck. Grenning now 28 pitches, 15 for strikes, 13 for balls. This one is a little bit low. I'll run the count here to Rodriguez to 2-0. 3 runs on 4 hits for Southern Maryland, 1 run on 1 hit for the Skeeters. See if Rodriguez goes the other way as he does when he's hitting well. This one high and tight, no chance there, 3-0. And suddenly Grenning has lost the strike zone. This next pitch will be pitch number 30. Grenning still working quickly. They're going to set up inside the 3-0. Rodriguez taking all the way, takes a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Skeeters trailing 3-1 here in the bottom of the second. And a run already in. Shadows now all the way across the infield, making their way towards left and center. Fastball strike on the outside corner. That'll run the count full 3-2 with 2 down. So Cordero will be moving at first. If Grenning throws a pitch outside, Cordero's going to crush it the opposite way. They do set up low and away, and this one is swung, and just getting a piece of that one is Cordero, who actually tried to pull that one. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind continues to whip up. It'll be tough for left-handed hitters as always here in Constellation Field. There goes Cordero. The 3-2 is grounded towards second. The second baseman Bistain will throw it to first, and that'll do it. 4-3 on the putout. But the Skeeters get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base through 2. It is the Skeeters down by 2, 3-1 here to Southern Maryland.
Now it's time for some baseball movie trivia brought to you by SureFlow Solutions. And we got my good friend Jessica on the stands with tonight's contestant. Jessica, take it away.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm over here in section 2 with Lee, and he's ready to take on a SureFlow Solutions baseball movie trivia. Let's take a look at the question up on the board. Which of these baseball movies does not include Kevin Costner in the cast? I'll give you 3 choices. Is it A, Bull Durham, B, The Natural, or C, Field of Dreams? Do we need to poll the audience? If you know the answer, go ahead and yell it out for them. Which one do you think it is, Lee?
It's B.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's see. It is! Congratulations! The most unsure answer, but
Well,
you
we
are
moved to
correct.
the
Congratulations,
top
you're the
half
winner
of
of
the third
25
inning.
Skeeter Bucks, thanks to a
Skeeters
SureFlow
got a run.
Solution.
They're
Back
down
up to you,
just
Shane.
3-1. Top of the order here for the Blue Crabs in the top of the third. Jose Lozada, Edwin Garcia, and Zach Wilson. Well, today is a Military Monday, and we're joined here by Captain Jacob Loftus. Captain, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
What brings you to the park today?
So we did a swear-in pregame for some folks that are going to be shipping out to basic training this summer into the early fall. And so, plus it was a good excuse to come out to watch a baseball game.
Oh,
So.
never needed an excuse at all, do you? First pitch here is down low, 1-0 to Lozada. Lozada singled and scored in the first. The switch hitter batting here from the left side. Blevins 1-0. This one high, 2 balls and no strikes, and Army celebrating a birthday, 242. What's the significance of that birthday?
Well, we've been around for 242 years, so started back in 1776. So since
Well, there you
the
go.
very beginning,
Should
we've
have
been
done
around
that
a minute. Yeah. So I mean, we celebrate it every year to some degree. So obviously, when we hit 250, that's going to be a huge deal.
That's going to be huge.
So.
Talk about the silver anniversary, the gold anniversary, the platinum. What's 250?
No idea.
This one is low and away, ball 4. So Lozada, who led off the game with a single, now leads off the third with a walk. 1 on, none out for Edwin Garcia. We're joined here on Military Monday by Captain Jacob Loftus. And can you talk a little bit about your Army experience and how it impacted your life personally?
Sure. So I joined back in 2006, right after I got done with college.
What college did you go to?
So I went to Austin College, which is about this big, and up in Sherman, which is significantly north of here, but still in Texas. And graduated, put in an application to go to OCS, got accepted. So I went to basic training and then right straight to OCS, got commissioned in March of 2007, and been doing it ever since. I keep finding reasons to stick around. So because my initial obligation was only 3 years, but I keep finding reasons to stick around. Usually ends up being the people I'm working with.
How many total years has it been?
10 and a half.
Oh, wow.
So I hit 11 in September, if I remember correctly.
Nice. So for your professional baseball, teamwork is essential. What role teamwork plays in the Army? Obviously, you got to act as a team or bad things happen.
Definitely. So
one hit to second. I go to second for 1. The relay to first in time, a 4.63 DP.
So for me, I'm an artillery officer, so you can't really do my job without other folks, which is always challenging, but it's nice at the same time. So teamwork is absolutely essential to what we do. Can't have an army with just one person, so everybody.
But wasn't that the Army's old expression, Army of one?
Army of one, completely misconstrued, completely misunderstood. I'm glad we got rid of that one.
What is the new slogan these days?
We're kind of in between slogans right now.
Really?
So
well, which two are you using?
So I think we're on to join the team that makes a difference, if I remember correctly. Okay. It's kind of what's on the tagline in all our ads right now.
And what was the old one?
So it was Army Strong.
Okay.
And then before Army of One, it was Be All You Can Be. Which is
still that's the one I remember.
Which is still my favorite,
remembers.
But they try to update it every once in a while for whatever reason.
This one is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes here on Wilson.
But like I said, as far as teamwork goes, it's can't really be in the Army and be kind of a lone person. Really does take all of us to get done what we're supposed to get done.
Well, a 2-0 here by Blevins. This one swung and fouled off to the right side. So what does it take to become a soldier?
You got to be in good health, not have a bad criminal background, obviously, and then the smarter the better. So we're looking for that kind of delicate cross-section of brains, good physical conditioning, and then good moral character.
The 2-1 swung and a miss, 2-2. Do you feel that everyone who applies, who fits all those criteria, can be a soldier or not necessarily?
If they meet those criteria, yeah, they can be a soldier. What we run into a lot is folks that have one or the other, like one of those areas covered, but not everything.
This one is skied into right field. The winner's really blowing this one away from Jan Santi near the line and catches it in foul territory for the final. Stick around for another half an inning.
Sure.
Captain Jacob Loftus will join us in the bottom of the first as well. Middle of the third, it is still 3-1 Southern Maryland.
right, thanks, Shane. Yes, I think we're finally set up, ready to go. Tonight we have Austin and Aiden versus Jacob and Tyler. My friends on the far end over there are going to crawl through. They're going to spin around first. Oh, we're switching it up. They're going to spin around first, then crawl through the tube, tag their teammate, and they're going to bounce back to the finish line. Easy as that. You guys ready? Set, spin. Get nice and dizzy. It looks like the far team is through the tube first. Grab the bat, spin around again. All right, on the hoppy ball, all the way back to the right friend in the blue SWAT team shirt. And it looks like the team closest to me is going to be the winner of the Not Just Kids relay race. Back up to you, Shane.
Well, we move to the bottom of the third. Skeeters got one back last inning. They'll try to get a little closer and take the lead here. So joined here in the booth by Captain Jacob Loftus, and we're talking about what it takes to become a soldier. If anybody wants more information about the Army or where they should go, what would you tell them?
Easiest thing to do is go to goarmy.com and kind of type in your area, and it'll refer you to a recruiting center near you. Or if you're into Google Maps, Facebook, just type in Army Recruiter near me, and you'll be surprised what pops up. It's one of the things that we've started, because with younger folks now.
This one, a hot shot to third. The toss across in the dirt, but dug out. There's out number one as Derek Miller goes down 5-3.
With younger folks now, a lot of them are more into the social media than some of the old traditional stuff. Like
That
just TV.
shocks me.
Yeah, I just got my first smartphone when I took this job, so I'm really.
You're Army smart now.
Yeah, so now I'm really trying to kind of embrace some of the technology.
Oh, with one out and none on, Anthony Jansanti will step in. Jansanti riding that 26-game hitting streak. He is 0 for 1 so far. Hot shot to third. What a play by Lozada. And a throw to first in time. Now, would have been tough if that one got past Lozada. He scooped it to his left. What does baseball have to do with the Army, in your opinion?
Well, we talked about teamwork a little bit earlier, so it's a good example of what you can accomplish when you work as a team. So, the Skeeters won the championship last year, and that was attributable to a lot of talent, but then a lot of good, hard teamwork. Same thing in the Army. We try to get done what we need to get done. We take the talents of our soldiers and then teach everybody how to work together to accomplish our mission.
First pitch here, low and away to Prince 1-0. Prince 0 for 1. What was your first job in the Army?
So my first job in the Army, I was a fire support officer, which in layman's terms means I
supported fires?
Well, no, not even fire. So now I'm trying to convince it.
I'm trying to convince fires with you.
No, so
like
fire support.
you.
So I deal with artillery and aircraft.
Oh wow!
So I was in charge of planning that for my company commander.
And now you're a recruiter?
So I was a recruiting company commander. I just changed out, and now I'm actually waiting around to transfer elsewhere.
Ground ball to third. Another good play by Lozada. The backhand throw to first, and that will do it. 3 5-3 putouts as Lozada grabs all 3 ground balls and turns a 1-2-3 inning for his pitcher.
Alrighty, Skeeter fans, it's that time to get up and get fly. I'm looking for my craziest fans out there in the stands, up there jumping around, getting super fly. I've got 2 passes to give away to Urban Air to my craziest fans in the stands. Let me see you stand up and go crazy. Where are y'all? Let me see you stand up.
move to the top of the fourth. Skiers are trailing by 2. It's always handy to have my friend Andy Humphrey to take you through the next few. Andy?
Thank you, Ira. It's the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Blue Crabs. Michael Snyder, Corey Vaughn, Devin Rodriguez. Snyder hit a 2-run homer in the first inning, a 3-run first for the Blue Crabs as they lead it 3-1. As this is a called strike to Snyder from Bobby Blevins. No balls and a strike to Snyder, the first baseman. He has switched between first baseman and designated hitter in the 4 games this series with Zach Wilson, those two alternating. The 0-1. Did he go around? He actually nubbed it right in front of the plate, and Cordero picks it up and throws to first for the out. That went about 2 feet in front of home. I thought it was a check swing in the dirt, but Snyder instead is retired for the first out.
Maybe the easiest out for Blevins tonight.
Blevins has thrown just 34 pitches through the first 3 1/3 that he has worked in this game so far. His highest pitch count in an inning is 15. That was the 3-run first. As he delivers a first pitch and it's swung on and missed by Corey Vaughn. 0-1 the count to the Blue Crabs center fielder. In the second inning, he only needed 6 pitches to get out of it. And in the last inning, he threw just 11. He's faced the minimum since that 3-run first. As he delivers one outside, it's a ball and a strike now to Corey Vaughn, who flied out to center field his first time up.
Vaughn may have grown up a cheesehead from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
1-1. Hit well into center field. Now Miller coming in a few steps, and he's not going to get to it. Jansanti backs him up and throws it in back to the infield. Well, Miller's first step was backwards, but he could not catch up to that line drive in right.
It was one of those deceiving swings. It looked like it was going to go further. That's why Miller went back. I thought it was hit fairly well, but it just kind of died out there, and Miller didn't really have a chance.
So Corey Vaughn with the 1-out single with the Blue Crabs up 3-1. Here's Devin Rodriguez. 0 for 1 on the night is Devin. He grounded out to second base his first time up. Skeeters trying to even the series at 2 games apiece. Try and gain on these Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the standings, as well as the Lancaster Barnstormers, as Rodriguez takes one low.
You got to watch out for Vaughn to steal second. Vaughn, pretty interesting. He's a guy who went to San Diego State, played for Tony Gwynn, and he was actually there when Steven Strasburg was there.
He doesn't go on this pitch. The 0-1 popped up behind home plate. Cordero looking to see if he has a play, and it looks like it will land on the roof of Constellation Field, and it will fall into the seats.
Isn't that amazing? Strasburg kind of went to San Diego State because nobody really wanted him. He was just kind of a chubby guy, and I'd say he's worn off his baby fat a little.
I'd say that he has proved some people wrong. Probably money well spent. Well, that might be a whole other question. But
oh, yeah. But he is having some year. What is he, 7-0 to start?
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike to Devin Rodriguez with the Skeeters down 3-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Runner at first and 1 out. A move to first base. This might get him. He did not get there. Getting it safely is Vaughn. Levin's been close a few times, showing a few slower moves to first base to some of these faster runners, try and lull him to sleep. That time he almost got Vaughn. He is set for a 1-1. Kicks and fires. That's popped up high in the air left side. Foul ground. Pound's going over, but he will run out of room as it lands in the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blue Crabs have Zach Cohn, the right fielder, waiting on deck. About to be pitch number 40 out of the hand of Bobby Blevins in his 11th overall appearance, his 8th start. Takes a peek at first base and delivers the 1-2. That's hit well into right field. Jansanti racing over. He will get there in time to make the catch. He throws over to first base to try and back pick, and it's not in time. Just getting in safely to avoid the double play there was Vaughn on the line drive out to Jansanti. 2 away.
The impressive thing about Jansanti, he plays both infield and outfield, and he actually took that like an infielder. Before he even caught that ball, he was ready to fire it to first and was very close over at first base.
So 2 down, and here's Zach Cohn. Led off the first inning with a single, attacking the first pitch he saw from Bobby Blevins. Here's the first pitch in this at-bat, and it swung on and missed. Snap throw over to first base is not in time.
Now, Cohen's from Stone Mountain, Georgia, and for those who don't know, Stone Mountain, Georgia is probably 4 times the size of Mount Rushmore. It is enormous.
So it's got 16 faces chiseled into it?
Good call, but no. Well, people always say, hey, what's your Mount Rushmore of baseball? What's your Mount Rushmore of football? Well, all 4 sports are.
So what's your Stone Mountain of baseball? Is that what you're trying to get at?
That's what I'm trying to get at.
No balls and 2 strikes on Cone. He swung through a nice breaking pitch from Blevins, who's now ahead in the count, is 1 strike away from getting through his 4th. Here's the 0-2, up high.
We might have to do a Mount Rushmore of Skeeters one day.
Yeah, I mean, you've got enough history to get there. Setting away is Cordero. The 1-2 is swung on, foul, tipped into the mid for strike 3. That's strikeout number 1 for Blevins, and he gets out of the 4th. No runs, a hit, and the man left. After 3.5, it is 3-1 Southern Maryland.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, we have a very special birthday in the house tonight. This is my friend Clayton, and it's his 8th birthday. Make some noise for him. All right, we're going to sing happy birthday to him. I need some help, nice and loud. In 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Clayton. Happy birthday to you.
Very well done. Happy birthday, buddy.
Skeeters will bat in the bottom of the 4th, down 3-1 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Brian Grenning back on the mound for inning number 4. He'll face the 3-4-5 hitters in the Skeeters lineup: Travis Scott, Kevin Ahrens, Brian Pounds. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey for this Monday evening game. Thank you for joining us here on SB Nation 1560, or if you're watching us on YouTube as well, we appreciate you spending your evening with us. Travis Scott is trying to get out of this slump he has been in. Now 1 for his last 23 at-bats. He flied out to center to start his night. Now wants to try and remedy things here and get his team back into the game down by a couple of runs. Now digs in with a bit of an open stance in the left-handed batter's box. Grenning winds and deals. Breaking ball falls in for a called strike. Scott is 1 for 12 in this series. He does have an RBI single. It came last night in the 6th inning. That was the only run the Skeeters were able to manage in last night's game as they lost 2-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's hit hard into right field, and going back is Cone, and he has enough room to make this play on the warning track, and he brings it down for the first out. One away now for Kevin Ahrens. Ahrens, the shortstop, has walked and scored the only Skeeters run so far. That was in the second inning. Kevin stands in. The right-handed batter faces the righty on the mound, Grenning. First pitch, a fastball on the outer edge, strike one. Quickly, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball away. 1-1 the count to Ahrens. 44 pitches now for Brian Grenning. That matches the pitch count for Bobby Blevins through the first 4 innings. So Blevins on a bit lower of a pitch per inning count as Ahrens grounds to third base, and Lozada will make the play at first for the second out. Lozada has made 6 of the last 8 outs for the Blue Crabs at third base. Been busy already in this game. Here's Brian Pounds. He had one of those ground outs to third in the second. Pounds is so far 0 for 8 in the series as he takes one low for ball one. A couple guys that are 0 for in this series are Pounds and Derek Miller at the bottom of the lineup. The 1-0, and that's outside. Pounds still trying to get acclimated to this new team as well. He joined the Skeeters on the road trip and playing at third base. 2-0. His line foul into the screen on the right-hand side. 2 balls and a strike to Pounds. Wind blowing fiercely from left center field. Flags completely unfurled over that right center field wall. The 2-1 just a bit in tight, so Pounds works it to a 3-ball count. It's 3-1. Skeeters down 3-1 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs with 2 outs and nobody on base in the bottom half of the 4th. 3-1 pitch hit high in the air down the right field line, racing over Snyder, but he runs out of room. It lands 5 rows deep. So 3-2 now to Brian Pounds. Skeeters being out hit 5-1 so far by the Blue Crabs. And the Skeeters in their last 26 innings have gotten just 13 base hits and a couple of runs. 3-2 on the way from Grenning in the dirt, ball 4. Second walk allowed by the Blue Crabs starter. And this one extends the inning with 2 outs. And Hector Oliveira to the plate. Oliveira ground out to third in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. 2 for 11 in the series so far. Grenning brings it to the belt. And the first pitch swung on and missed. A wild swing from Oliveira. It's like a breaking pitch away. Righty on righty as Grenning takes a peek at first and now delivers home on the 0-1. Looked like the same pitch there, and again it was missed at by Oliveira. So Grenning feeling that he could get that same pitch for a strike again, and he did. No balls and 2 strikes, and the 0-2 is away this time on the fastball. Tried to sneak it on that outer edge, but could not, and it's 1-2. Albert Cordero on deck for the Skeeters. They're down 3-1 in this bottom of the 4th. A runner on first base and 2 away. 1-2 pitch On the ground to the third baseman, Lozada. He'll go the short route to second, and that's a 5-4 force on Brian Pounds. No runs, no hits, and a man left after 4 innings. It is 3-1 Southern Maryland at Constellation Field. We're now in the 5th, and the Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over your Sugarland Skeeters. Bobby Blevins still on the mound for Sugarland. He'll face the 8-9-1 part of the Southern Maryland lineup with Ryan Wiggins, the catcher, to lead it off. Wiggins on the first pitch in his first at-bat, grounded into 1-4-3 double play in the second inning. Blevins kicks and fires, and the first pitch is a called strike on the outer corner, 0-1. So Wiggins so far in the series is 1 for 5, that only hit being a home run coming in the series opener on Friday. The 0-1 pitch is hit hard but foul down that left field side, and it careens off the wall in foul ground there. So it's no balls and 2 strikes on Wiggins. Long look in from Blevins, and he'll rock and fire the 0-2 inside, and it backs up Wiggins there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian Bistain, Jose Lozada due up after Ryan Wiggins. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Blevins, back up the middle, and Blevins fields it again. He'll go to first for the 1-3 put out, and there's 1 away. So both times that Wiggins has been up, he has hit it straight back where it came from. Now second baseman Brian Bistain stands in. Bistain 0 for 1. Taking a look at, well, today's a special day in Major League Baseball. It's the beginning of the Major League Baseball draft. See some guys getting picked here as first pitch is delivered low and away for ball 1 to Brian Bistain. How about this, Ira?
Go.
The first 3 picks, all high school players.
Wow.
All of them.
If you got an arm these days, and pitching is scarce with 30 teams.
Here's the 0-1, and it's fouled back. Brian Bistain with a 1-1 count.
I remember when expansion happened, they started talking about, there'd be guys on the big league rosters who should probably be at AAA, and I got to tell you, they're about 2 deep now. There's probably 4 and 5 starters who should both be at AAA. Become really, really thin. You're up pretty much in 3 years or less if you can throw.
Pitches inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Obviously, the taking these high school players is high risk, high reward, and with these 3 in the first 3 picks that you've got, you've obviously got great talents. I mean, one of them is Hunter Green, who we saw on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I believe, a few weeks ago, is believed to be one of the, probably the next phenom in Major League Baseball. But I mean, this is a lot of time and a lot of, investment that these teams are putting into these 17, 18-year-old kids, and it's surprising how it's gotten this way. Here's a slow number to the right-hand side. Blevins will pick it up and tag Bastain himself for the second out, 2 away.
I think it's high risk. I don't know about so much reward because, I mean, think about who's the last high school pitcher that was picked that high that is a superstar. I mean, you think about the Kershaws and the Strasburgs, and those are all guys that didn't come straight out of high school necessarily. And even great scouts have told me that it's the hardest part of their job is to predict where a guy who's 17 or 18, what he's going to fill out, what he's going to be like at 21, 22, 23 years old.
Well, I think it's especially hard with the pitchers. I think it's more of a safe bet with the position players, as the first pitch to Jose Lozada is hit right to Travis Scott. He fields on a hop, and he goes to first himself for the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Blevins, and after 4.5, the Blue Crabs still hang on to a 3-1 lead.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm over here on the first base side. I'm down by the finish line, and it's nice we have Tomas and Bradley taking on the trike race for Momentum BMW. All right, guys, when I say go, it's a race all the way over here to the finish line to our lovely SWAT team ladies that are raising their hand. On your mark, get set, go. All right, looks like Tomas has got quite the lead to start it off, but you guys can do it. Pedal those legs nice and fast. It's a lot harder than it looks, fans. Make some noise for them. Come on, Bradley, you can do it. Get back on. If you fall off, it's okay. Just get back on that bike. Tomas is just coasting in the finish line over here, but you can do it. It's all good. We're getting a little bit of a push. All right. Tomas has won the race, but I think Bradley's going to finish. Let's go, let's go. You can do it. Maybe you can't.
Here's the bottom of the fifth with Skeeters still down by a couple of runs to the Blue Crabs. 3-1 in this bottom half of the fifth inning. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up to bat. Albert Cordero, Wilfredo Rodriguez, Derek Miller. To face Brian Grenning, the right-hander, working in his fifth inning. As there is some sort of delay.
They're waiting for those tricycle races to get off the field.
Getting into that right field corner into that gate, and now the gate's closed. So, hey, we're ready for baseball. Grenning rocks and deals the first pitch to Cordero, and it's upstairs for ball one. Cordero drove in the only run the Skeeters have so far on the night in the second inning. A seeing eye single up the middle. This next pitch is fouled back, 1 ball and 1 strike. We were talking right before we were rudely interrupted by Bobby Blevins' 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the fifth.
The nerve.
The MLB draft first round underway at the moment. They are about 20 picks in. Yep, they just picked number 20 there. And we were talking about these high school players 1, 2, and 3 up at the start as Cordero takes one high. It's 2-1.
You're talking about how it's a little easier, which I agree, to predict a position player.
As this one's hit right back up the middle, and it's a hard hit liner. Base hit for Cordero, so he is 2 for 2 on the night. And he is the lead base runner for Wilfredo Rodriguez.
I think of a guy hitting 10 to 15 home runs in college, I think it's a little easier to predict. Probably, see him as a 20, 30 home run guy in the big leagues. Who was the first position player taken in this year's draft?
This year it was, the number 1 overall pick, Royce Lewis, out of J. Sarah Catholic High School in California. So the Twins selected him first overall as Wilfredo Rodriguez takes one outside. And then the first pitcher that was taken was the man that we mentioned earlier, Hunter Green. He was taken by the Reds. For the second pick, it was thought that the Twins would take him first overall as Wilfredo Rodriguez hits this right back up the middle for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for the Skeeters, and they're in business in this bottom half of the fifth inning with the tying run on base.
If I remember right, the Twins passed on the Cubs starters, not Wood, Pryor.
Yeah.
Pryor, and they took Joe Mauer, which turned out well for them.
Right.
Who was their first college position player taken?
Their first college position player, you have to go to the fourth pick. The Rays selected Brendan McKay out of Louisville. He's a left-handed hitting first baseman, a junior. Here's Derek Miller. He squares around to bunt, and it's right in front of home plate. Pretty well placed. The catcher will not get this over to first. It is mishandled. Coming in to score is Cordero as the Skeeters cut the lead to 1. I think that may have come off of Miller, and they're actually going to say that Miller is out.
Yeah, they're going to say he was inside the baseline, which is not true. And Nix is now pointing it out, as is Gary Gaetti. Now Miller was exactly where he should be. And I think that call is mistaken way too much. Anytime there's any sort of collision type as the ball and Miller arrived at first base at the same time, it's always easy to blame it on the runner. I don't think that's the right call at all.
Well, it was a tough angle for that catcher. It was only about 10 feet in front of home plate, and usually when you have that kind of situation, you just say, hey, throw it at the hitter if you think he's close to that baseline there. And Gary Gaetti arguing with the home plate umpire Derek Moshe. I'm not sure who made the initial call, either Derek Moshe at home plate or the first base umpire Brad Parker, but they're going to keep this call on the field. Derek Miller is out.
Bad call there.
And even more importantly, the runners have to go back to where they were, so it's still first and second and now one out. So no run up on the board for the Skeeters. Well, that's a killer.
That is a killer. Takes a run off the board. In a worst case scenario, this should really be first and third or second and third with a run in.
Yeah, that's really interesting that they make the base runners go back to where
I don't
they
get
were
that.
on a play like that.
They
would have been at second and third anyway.
Exactly.
They had no chance of getting thrown out as the first pitch to Anthony Jansanti is high and inside for ball one. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me why that would be the case.
I agree. I understand putting the runner back to third perhaps, but not putting him back to first and second.
The pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Anthony Jansanti still sitting on that 26-game hitting streak, trying to send it to 27 games. If he can do so here, this will be a prime opportunity to do that. Probably put a run up on the board for the Skeeters as he pops one high in the air on the infield. Racing over is the third baseman, Lozada, and he is there in foul ground to make the catch. He was closer to home plate than he was third base. He had a long way to go, and that is the second out. So here's Josh Prince. 2 outs and 2 men on base for the Skeeters. They're still down 3-1. And they probably feel that that should be a little bit different at the moment.
When it rains, it pours. Just not going the Skeeters' way right now.
Prince is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to third. First pitch, swung on and missed. That looked like a good fastball there from Brian Grenning. 0-1, they count to Prince.
I don't know if I've ever seen this score. They scored in
a runner's interference.
RI2. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Here's the 0-1, and it's bounced foul down the third base line. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that's a first for me as well. I just put 2-3 in my book. I thought that's how you score it, and you just assume that those two would have made the play.
But how is that an RI2? It has nothing to do with the catcher. The play was at first.
Well, basically what the catcher did was he hit the base runner with the ball while he was in fair territory. So with that logic, the first baseman is not involved with the play at all. That's why you only have the 2 there. Here's the 0-2 to Prince, and he doesn't offer at the pitch low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-1 Blue Crabs. Skeeters have runners at first and second base and 2 down. They both got on base with no outs in the inning, but a couple quick outs by the Blue Crabs have changed things as the 1-2 is swung on and missed by Prince. Throws the bat down. He strikes out for the second time tonight, and that is the second strikeout on the night for Grenning as well. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left for the Skeeters. They trail 3-1 to the Blue Crabs after 5 innings.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Otay. He's ready to test his knowledge of the Whataburger menu. Otay, we're going to show you a scrambled up Whataburger menu item, and you got to figure it out. You ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see the word up there. All right, if you know the answer, go ahead and help him out. Yell it out for him. Do you think you know?
Patty meal.
Patty melt, is it patty melt? It is. Congratulations. So you are the winner of this lovely Whataburger prize pack, but you're row in section 1 row, and you're also the winner of free Whataburger. Back up to you, Shane.
5 innings in the books at Constellation Field. The Blue Crabs have a 3-1 lead over the Sugarland Skeeters. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey. Bobby Blevins back out on the mound for Sugarland.
Our turn of events last inning. First and second, nobody out. The runner's interference, and it could be first and third a run in. You have a huge rally go, and the Skeeters get nothing out of it.
And it's certainly questionable as to how it got that way as well. The Skeeters probably feel wrong dung in that dugout right at the moment.
I feel wrong done up here.
It's getting personal. Here's Edwin Garcia to lead it off for the Blue Crabs, and he takes a first pitch strike from Blevins on the outside corner, 0-1. Garcia, a single and a run scored so far on the night. He is 1 for 2. Blevins rocks and deals the 0-1. Breaking ball cuts in for a called strike 2, and Garcia is wondering how did that fall into the strike zone. It's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Wilson, Michael Snyder, the big, beefy, meaty part of the Blue Crabs lineup, due up in this inning. Another breaking pitch. This one swung on and missed. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Edwin Garcia. And Bobby Blevins picks up strikeout number 2, 1 away in the 5th.
That's the way I usually describe a good steak, beefy and meaty.
Can you make, I don't think you can make steak with Blue Crab meat. Is that possible?
No, you sprinkle it on top. Crushed.
There you go. Got to try that sometime. Here's Zach Wilson, the designated hitter.
Get a little surf and turf going
there.
there.
First pitch swung on and missed. Another breaking pitch from Blevins. Really confident in that one so far. 0-1. Wilson 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in the first, and he popped in foul ground to Jan Santi in right field. 0-1. That one's away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Blevins, since that 3-run first, has pitched pretty effectively. He's only allowed a couple base hits since then. His pitch count is at 58 at the moment through 5 1/3. That's number 59. That's swung on and missed by Zach Wilson. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And despite Grenning with a 3-1 lead, it's a little deceiving. His pitch count is not great. 40 for strikes, 30 for balls. Blevins got a much better, almost 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio, yet he's behind.
1-2 is in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Wilson. And you can see that Blevins has had the higher comfort level so far. He's had to deal with fewer base runners since that 3-run first.
And just 2 hits since then.
2-2 pitch. That one hits Zach Wilson square in the back, and he will take first with 1 out on the hit by pitch. So a breaking ball that got away from Blevins that time.
It's been such a good 1-2 punch with Wilson and Snyder. Almost better off walking one of them so you don't have to deal with 2 of them. Or in this case, a hit by pitch.
Well, you certainly don't want to pipe one into this guy who already has a home run in the game, a 2-run shot in the first. He is 1 for 2. And Snyder now has 10 home runs on the season and 31 driven in. Infield shades to the left side against Snyder, and this first pitch is lined hard into left field for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Wilson, and there are 2 men on with 1 out for the Blue Crabs in the 6th. Here's Corey Vaughn. He'll stand in. 1 for 2 on the night is Vaughn. 4 for 12 in the series. So the Blue Crabs center fielder comes into the right-handed batter's box. Blue Crabs up 3-1. Runners at first and second base and 1 away in the top of the 6th. Doesn't look like the Skeeters have anybody throwing. There are some guys standing around on that pitcher's mound as Vaughn chops one foul down the third base line. Still nobody making any tosses yet, but that might change soon, and it looks like somebody will start. I see the catcher has set up. He's ready for somebody to throw out in that bullpen.
Nobody's throwing as of yet.
Meanwhile, Blevins will deal the 0-1 to Vaughn. That one swung on and fouled off the foot of Corey, and he will take a while to walk that one off. No balls and 2 strikes to Vaughn. Corey's dad is Greg Vaughn. Played 15 Major League seasons for the Brewers, Padres, Reds, Rays, and Rockies. 4-time All-Star, was a Silver Slugger in 1998.
It was the year you hit 50 home runs, was it not?
I believe so. 0-2. That one's low. To make it 1 ball and 2 strikes to Vaughn. Devin Rodriguez waits on deck for the Blue Crabs, who are up 3-1 in this top half of the 6th. They're out hitting the Skeeters 6-3.
2,504 fans here at Constellation Field tonight.
Taking advantage of Margarita Monday.
Hey, who doesn't? Dollar Dog Night.
$1 dogs, $2 margs. This one gets through the legs of Cordero, and he'll chase this one down at the backstop. Runners move up 90 feet, and it's second and third with 1 away. It'll be interesting to see what they call that one.
Yeah, I agree. Probably should have been caught, but could be ruled a wild pitch.
It'll force the infielders to come in for the Skeeters, down a couple of runs. And 2 runners in scoring position. Pass ball. That is pass ball number 4 on the season for Cordero. So now Blevins in a bit of a pickle here. 2-2 the count, and runners in second and third with 1 away in the 6th. Here's the 2-2, and that's hit hard into left field. Oliveira racing back, and this one will one-hop the manual scoreboard. 2 runs will score on this RBI double by Corey Vaughn, and it is 5-1 Southern Maryland in the 6th.
Well, that pass ball is huge now. Only would have scored 1. Both of them come home easily. And the Skeeters down big here.
And for Corey Vaughn, that is double number 12. RBIs number 19 and 20, and he also has 3 doubles in this series. And I believe they just intentionally walked Devin Rodriguez, so he will take first. So now here's Zach Cohn coming to the plate. Cohn is 1 for 2, a single in the second inning. He struck out swinging in the fourth, and now there is action in that bullpen for the Skeeters. Who's that, Andrew Johnston?
Yep.
First pitch to Cohn is down low for ball 1. So the Skeeters now down by 4 runs. The hole just keeps getting bigger. And still they need to try and find the offense. Righty against a righty as Blevins kicks and fires the 0-1. That's low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Cohn. Now Bobby Blevins' pitch count is starting to worry Gary Gaetti. About to be number 70 out of the hand of Blevins. Vaughn at second and Rodriguez at first. The 2-0 pitch is hit foul on the ground down the first base line. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Wiggins on deck for the Blue Crabs, who now lead at 5-1 in this top of the 6th. Blevins brings it to the set, and the 2-1. That's hit on the ground and through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Getting waved home is Vaughn. The throw will come to the plate, and not in time, as Vaughn ran into Derek Moshe, the home plate umpire there, but he scores the run, and it is 6-1 Blue Crabs.
Let's see if Gary Gaddy goes to his bullpen here. Andrew Johnson has stopped throwing, and here comes Gary.
No signal yet, and he makes it now. So Bobby Blevins done. He cannot get through the 6th. And so the Skeeters will go to the pen here, down 5 runs in this top half of the 6th inning. We'll be back to tell you all about the new pitcher right after this.
Well, it certainly has been a wild side here for the Skeeters. Their 34-year-old right-hander, number 22, Andrew Johnston, will come in. AJ 6'5", 210 from High Ridge, Missouri. His 4th year with the Skeeters. Been as high as AAA. 12 years as a pro. This season 0-1, a 4.56 ERA. 24 appearances, 21 in the third, 15 Ks, 4 walks, and 20 hits allowed.
He'll face Ryan Wiggins with runners at first and second base. And he delivers a first pitch strike. There is 1 away in the top half of the 6th inning, and the Blue Crabs now have a 6-1 lead over the Skeeters.
AJ pitched last night in the 2-1 loss. He went 1 inning, did not allow a run, 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts. Faced 4 hitters. Also pitched in the Game 1 win.
Wiggins fouls that one back. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Wiggins. Johnson, the pitcher of the year last season with the Skeeters. Helped them on their championship run. And has been tagged as the middle relief guy for Gary Gaetti this season. Here's the 0-2. Fastball in the dirt. Cordero blocks it, and it's 1-2 now to Wiggins.
Book not closed yet on Blevins, but so far 73 pitches, 46 for strikes, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and the runners on first and second still his responsibility.
He pitched pretty well through the 2nd and the 5th, but the 1st and the 6th innings were what got him in this one, as Johnson delivers 1 low, 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Wiggins, with Brian Bistain on deck for the Blue Crabs. Infield playing straight up against Wiggins. Wind blowing from right center field as the 2-2 is knocked foul into the screen.
Well, AJ features a fastball, slider, and a splitter.
Righty on a righty as Andrew Johnson looks into the signs from Cordero. Rodriguez at second, and Cone at first base. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Cordero hangs on behind the plate, and that's a big out number 2.
That was the splitter by AJ. His out pitch.
Brian Bistain now the batter. Second baseman for the Blue Crabs is 0 for 2 on the night. Couple ground ball outs, 1 to third and 1 back to the pitcher. Bistain just 1 for 9 in this series. He joined the Blue Crabs just last week. And he went undrafted in 2009 from Lee University as he takes one high. That's ball 1. But he did get signed by a major league organization that year. He was signed by the Twins. But he only played 1 season for the Gulf Coast League Twins in their rookie ranks. Hit .288 with no homers, 10 RBIs in 40 games. Chops one to the left side. Coming in is Pounds, and he throws on the run to complete the out on Bistain and end the inning. But 3 runs come to the plate for the Blue Crabs. 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 men left on base. It is 6-1 Southern Maryland going to the bottom half of the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go at Constellation Field. The Skeeters trail the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 6-1. Brian Grenning back on the mound for another inning of work for Southern Maryland, facing 3-4-5 in the lineup for Sugar Land in this 6th. Travis Scott, Kevin Ahrens, and Brian Pounds.
I got a good question for you.
What's that?
All right, you can pick. You have the #1 overall pick.
All right.
But this is the fantasy baseball draft. You can pick any player from any era.
Wow.
Who are you going to build your team
Any
around?
era?
Any era.
Oh, my.
So this is a brand new team.
Are
and
we
it can be
talking-
from any era? You want to pick Willie Mays or Ruth or Garrick, whatever you want to do.
Wow. I need a while to think about that. Maybe I'll get after this batter here. Here's Travis Scott. First pitch is inside from Gretting. Scott so far has flat out a couple of times, once to center and once to right. Still trying to get out of that funk he's been in. Here's the 1-0, and that's hit in the air into shallow center field. Coming in is Vaughn, and he dives, and did he make the catch? Yes, he did. What a play by Corey Vaughn in center to rob Travis Scott of a base hit. One away.
Unbelievable. You get runs robbed on a interference call at first. You hit one into center field that 99 times out of 100 is a base hit, and it's caught. Whatever could go wrong will go wrong right now for the Skeeters. My goodness.
Kevin Ahrens now the batter. Ahrens has walked and scored in this game. He's 0 for 1. He also has a ground out to third base. Grenning rocks and deals. The first pitch outside is ball 1. I mean, you could go so many different ways with that.
Oh, I know, but you only got
And
one pick, so don't waste it.
So much pressure.
Of course.
Well, I'd be the one
a brand
getting
new
pressured
organization.
here.
The Humphreys are riding on your decision
Now, that's
here.
not my team name, first of all. And
well, you could pick your team, Dave, also.
this is down the line, and it's a fair ball, and it's going to roll all the way into the left field corner. Ahrens rounds first, heads to second base. Chasing it is Rodriguez. Ahrens will stop at second with a one-out double. Not the hardest hit of baseballs, but he placed it perfectly down that third base line, and it got as far away as it could get into that left field corner. And the Skeeters have a runner in scoring position in this bottom of the 6th, down 5 runs.
14th double of the year for Ahrens, and Ahrens came in tied for 3rd in the league in double, so he'll move up. So who are the Fighting Andes going to pick?
Get to that in a moment. Here's Brian Pounds. Man, so many different ways I could go with this. First pitch to Pounds is away. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say Hank Aaron.
That's a good pick right there. You can't go wrong with Hammer and Hank. 3,700 career hits.
If I get all,
home runs.
I mean, exactly. And if I get all that power, not many teams can stop me. Of course, you got to build that up as Pounds grounds one to shortstop, and Garcia will make the throw to first to complete the second out. So that runner at second base for the Skeeters. Yeah, I mean, I would probably, either way, I would go with the bat. That's for sure. Because I would want that sort of consistency throughout a season with my first pick. That's just me. I don't know. Most people want to get that shutdown key pitcher. Me, I'll get a surefire hitter that can blast stuff out of any ballpark.
So you're looking at a guy that's going to play more 162 games than 35.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It probably makes a bigger impact on my ball club in the long run as Oliveira swings and misses at another pitch there. He's behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
You know, it's amazing now that pitchers are getting so much more than hitters because pitching's so valuable. When all the strike and all that happened in the 80s, the argument was, well, why should a pitcher get as much as a hitter? He doesn't play as much.
Right.
That was the argument. Pitchers never got as much as hitters, and now pitching is all the rave. They get $160 million contracts.
Oliveira looks away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Exactly. I was looking at Max Scherzer's contract with the Washington Nationals. Oh, man. That man is going to be set for a while.
You know, people are also underestimating what he did recently. He got to the 2K mark, 2,000 strikeouts. There's only been 18 guys to get to 3,000. There are
Right.
more 3,000 hits than there are 3,000 strikeout players.
Down in the dirt again. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Oliveira. The Skeeters down 6-1 in this bottom half of the 6th inning. Kevin Aaron's at second base after the 1-out double. Still following this Major League Baseball draft, the first round, your Yankees selected Clark Schmidt of South Carolina, a right-handed pitcher, with the 16th pick. I'm sure you've never heard of him before.
Nope. I know somebody that has.
Oliveira with a full count with 2 outs, and the pitch is grounded foul down the third base line. For you Astros fans out there, the Astros selected a right-handed pitcher from North Carolina, J.B. Bukauskas. I believe I pronounced that correctly. I think I got that. Bukauskas.
And Jeff Luna doing a phenomenal job. He hasn't made too many bad picks.
3-2 swung on and missed, and Oliveira goes down on strikes to end the inning. No runs, a hit, and a man left for the Skeeters. We're through 6. Southern Maryland has a 6-1 lead.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I've got a couple more of these Loud and Rambunctious softball girls tonight. I've got Aubrey and Sydney versus Kyler and Sasha. All right, girls, here's the deal. You got to keep the bat on the ground, put your head on the bat, spin around 5 times, get nice and dizzy, grab your letter, run to the board, and repeat with your partner. You ready? Set, spin. All right, looks like O's going to be the first one to put the letter down, followed shortly by X. Faster, spin faster, you could do it. All right, it's going to be the close one. Who's going to get the last letter down? And it's going to be Team X with the win, the comeback win. Congratulations, girls. Back up to you, Shane.
Skeeters go back to the bullpen as they bring in the right-hander Evan Reed for this top half of the 7th, down 6-1 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Reed this season 1-0 with a 5.09 ERA. He has 1 save this year, 17 2/3 innings pitched, 24 hits, 10 runs, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts for Reed, who is a former Detroit Tiger. And he will come on for Andrew Johnston, who only pitched 2/3 of an inning and got a strikeout, did not allow a hit, did not allow a run, did not allow a walk. So Reed takes over, and so does the man to my left, Mr. Ira Liebman. Ira.
Thanks a lot, Andy. See if Reed can bring some law and order to this one. You'll face the top of the order here in the top of the 7th. Jose Lozada, Edwin Garcia, and Zach Wilson. Lozada so far has been on base twice. He has singled, walked, grounded out to first, and scored a run. Lozada came in 215 with a home run and 8 RBIs. Skeeters down 6-1 here in the top of the 7th. I'm going to throw another curveball at you, Andy. You can start a team, but you got to pick from a major league roster currently.
Bryce Harper.
That's a good call right there. You got longevity for sure, but probably a $500 million contract as well. That you
I mean, these days it's anybody who's going to ask for that much.
Ground ball to second. Prince hurries it, and they get Lozada at first. 4-3 on the putout. Edwin Garcia will step in. He is 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, hit into a double play, and struck out. So we're talking about Stone Mountain, Georgia before. Who is your Mount Rushmore of all-time baseball players?
Oh, man. And we're going all-time again. All right.
Oh, what would you rather go, all-time or currently? I'll give you the choice.
Well, I mean, all-time, of course, is a little bit more set in stone, no pun intended, but
It's one low and away, 1-0 to Garcia.
you know, Hank Aaron's up there.
Certainly. I just feel Hank doesn't get enough credit.
Oh, never. I'd like to see. I'd probably put Sandy Koufax up there. Probably.
Really?
I mean, for sure.
Even though his career was short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nolan Ryan too.
2 pitchers.
Yeah. Well, they're either going to be 2 pitchers and 2 position players
Not
here. I mean,
necessarily. I think I'd go all 4 position players from my Mount
Okay.
Rushmore.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, you need one more. That's 3.
Oh, okay.
It's one ground ball to the left side, past the diving Pounds, deep in the hole at short. Aarons will have to hold on to it, or not hold on to it in this case. Drops it as he tried to throw it. That'll be an infield single for Garcia.
Oh, I'll give you Babe Ruth.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good call. So Ruth, Aaron, Koufax, and who was your 4th one? Ryan? That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not bad at all. And if they're bored, they can pitch to each other. Got 2 hitters and 2 pitchers.
That's an even team.
That's what I'm saying. A 1 on and 1 out here for Zach Wilson. Get a sac fly RBI. He has fouled out to Jan Santi in right and was hit by a pitch and scored. He's 0 for 1. Throw to first, diving back in, a big dive back in by Garcia. Wilson 284, 9 home runs, now 38 RBIs. And you do see guys push each other at times, and Wilson and Snyder certainly are pushing each other. Seems every time one guy homers, the guy behind him or in front of him homers the next day. Last night it was Snyder who hit his 9th home run of the year. And now today Snyder gets his 10th to go ahead of Wilson. Now the throw to first. This one in the dirt, scooped out by Scott. Tomorrow it will be Mitch Talbot, the Skeeters right-hander, against Gabby Hernandez, the righty for the Blue Crabs. They set up outside, and the 0-1 here by Evan Reed. He kicks, fires, and this one is a fastball low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 6-1. The Skeeters trail here. Reed features a fastball and a slider. Former big leaguer with the Tigers.
Reed also most likely crossed paths with Brian Grenning. They both went to the same school, Cal Poly and San Luis Obispo.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. Six runs on 9 hits for Southern Maryland, 1 run on 4 for the Skeeters. Neither team has committed an error so far here tonight. The 2-1. This one way inside, 3-1 to count. It has cooled down a bit here. Down to 84. This one is inside. Fastball misses. Ball 4. Now runners on first and second with 1 away. We'll bring in the cleanup hitter. Schneider has already homered in this one. His 10th of the year. Singled last time up. He is 2 for 3. He's also grounded out to the catcher. Driven in 2. He has scored 2. He's responsible for 4 of the 6 runs. He's got 3 more trips to the plate. I think the big story really right now is will Jan Santi extend his hitting streak? The Skeeters go on to lose by this score. He may have 1 more at bat. This one hit out to center field. Miller there on the line drive. That's the second out. 2 down, 2 on. That'll bring up Corey Vaughn. Mentioned earlier, Andy, that his dad is Former big leaguer Greg Vaughn. Well, speaking of the draft, he was a first-round pick in 1986 by the Brewers. Nobody ever heard of was the first overall pick, Alex Jimenez from Miami-Dade College, where Johan Lamonta also went to, just signed today by the Skeeters. Pat Gorman, Cal State Fullerton, also not a big name. And Pete Roberts from the University of Alabama, then Vaughn, who went to the University of Miami. This one popped up, shallow center field, and tough play for Prince, but he makes it, and that will do it. 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters trailing by 5-6-1.
Thanks, Shane. All right, Skeeters fans, you ready for the 7th inning stretch? Are you guys ready? There we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so just root for the Skeeters. If they don't win, it's a shame. Sing it with me, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Skeeters!
Now, Brian Grenning still on the hill for the Blue Crabs, with his team leading 6-1 here over the Skeeters. It'll be 7, 8, and 9, and should one batter reach, it'll give Anthony Jansanti at least one more try at extending his hitting streak to 27 games. Albert Cordero, the lone bright spot for the Skeeters offense. He is 2 for 2 with an RBI, driven in the lone run. First pitch to the switch hitter. This one a strike down the middle, 0-1. Grenning gets the sign, kicks and deals the 0-1 here to Cordero, and this one is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grenning now at 85 pitches. The 1-1. This one way low and inside near the feet of Cordero. 2 balls and a strike. Trio of runs in the first and in the 6th. Skeeters got that lone run in the 2nd on the RBI single by the man at the plate, and it is a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Grenning now closing in on 90 pitches. The 2-2. Swung and chopped over the head of Grenning. Slow roller to Bistain. He has time, throws out Cordero by about a step. And there's one away. 4-3 on the putout. Well, that'll bring in Wilfredo Rodriguez. He is grounded the second and singled. He's 1 for 2. Rodriguez 293, 1 home run and 10 RBIs. Skeeters DH tonight. Hitting very well as of late. Well, in steps the Skeeters right-handed hitting designated hitter. Rodriguez, who began this season in the White Sox system. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Wilfredo. Now 90 pitches for Grenning. The 1-0. Swung a hit to the left side and threw for a base hit. Rodriguez continuing to hit well. He is also 2 for 3.
It's also his second extra base second multi-hit game of this series. He had 3 and drove in a couple of runs in the series opener on Friday, the only game that the Skeeters have won so far.
The Skeeters with 5 hits, 4 of them from the 7 and 8 spot in Cordero and Rodriguez. That'll bring in Derek Miller. And if he can stay out of a DP, we'll see Anthony Jansanti with perhaps his last chance tonight to extend his hitting streak. I think John Harris, the manager of the Blue Crowns, would like to get his pitcher through 7. First pitch is swung and hit to the left side. Diving stop by Lozada. He goes to second. That's all they'll get. So Jansanti will bat here. The fielder's choice will go down 5-4. So at second is Rodriguez. Excuse me. At first is Miller. Rodriguez out at second on the fielder's choice. Let's hope this is not it for Jansanti. A chance to extend his hitting streak to 27 games here. He is 0 for 3, and generally when a streak stops, it's because you were robbed at least once, and he was in his second at bat on a great play by Jose Lozada at third. He's also grounded at the short and fouled out to third. First pitch a strike, could also be pitched there by Grenning. 0-1 the count. Jansanti came in 4th in the league in hitting at .336. Now he steps off here. Jansanti also has 3 home runs on the season, 16 RBIs. They set up away the 0-1. There goes Miller. The throw down to second is not in time. And Miller remains perfect, now 9 for 9 in stolen base attempts. Surprised he was going there down 6-1?
I'm not. I kind of like the move, actually. Get him into scoring position, put a little more pressure on that pitcher, and if he gets thrown out, Jansanti leads off the next inning.
94 pitches now here for Grenning. 1-1 the count here on Jansanti. Grenning's pitch, swung a hit to the left side. Backing up is Lozada. Long throw in time, and Jansanti hopefully will have one more at bat, and he's thrown out 5-3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 7. Skeeters still down 5, 6-1.
Thanks, Jane. Yes, I have $150 in my hands for a lucky season ticket holder out there. Who's it going to be? All righty. What side are we going to tonight? First base? I've been over there a lot. Let's see. All righty. Oh, excuse me. How about section 9? Nope, heading over. Not section 9. What about section 10? I like that noise. Sorry, guys. I'm still going this way. Section 11. Barely any noise over here. I'm going to keep going. Sorry, section 12. I'm still going to section number 13. I'm looking for section 13, row F. Seat number 1. Do you have the ticket for that seat? It looks like we might have a winner tonight.
Well, join the Skeeters on Saturday, July 15th at 6:05. The first 2,000 fans will receive a free Craig Biggio Hall of Fame bobblehead courtesy of Sanders, Morris, and Harris. Well, here in the top of the 8th, against Evan Reed, who will remain on the hill, will be 6, 7, and 8. Devin Rodriguez, Zach Cohn, and Ryan Wiggins. Rodriguez grounded out to second. His first time up, lined out. In his second trip to the plate was intentionally walked last time up. So he's 0 for 2. Came in 368, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs for Rodriguez. The lone left-handed bat in this lineup. Pure left-handed bat. Switch hitting Jose Lozada also will bat from the left side in this lineup. This one is a strike at the knees, 0-1 the count. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the top of the 8th. The 0-1 coming here from Reed. Cordero wants it high and inside, and this one is fisted foul down the right side. Good piece of hitting there by Rodriguez. Well, Skeeters now have scored just 2 runs in the last 30 innings. No balls and 2 strikes to count here to Rodriguez. Reed allowed 2 base runners last inning, a single and a walk. Reed 13 pitches so far, 8 for strikes, 5 for balls. They set up outside. The 0-2 is just off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Devin Rodriguez. See Reed, number 37, on the mound. They're going to set up inside. The 1-2 from Reed to Rodriguez is low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Skeeters and Blue Crabs the only game on the scoreboard in the Atlantic League. Everybody else is off, so if the Skeeters lose this game, they will find themselves 4.5 games back of the Barnstormers with 19 games to go in the first half.
There's a contrast. Southern Maryland will be just 1 game behind the Barnstormers.
The 2-2. Swan and hit into right center field. This one could be trouble. Long run for Jansanti, but he's going to run it down in deep right center. They're out number 1 and track that one in a hurry.
Yeah, he was full steam ahead when he saw that come off the bat. Sometimes when you see an outfielder take his eye off the baseball, you think that one's trouble and it's getting well away from him, but Jansanti was able to catch up.
Skeeters manager Gary Getty knows all about that. He said in the Metrodome, if you took your eye off the ball for a second, it was gone when it was in the air. 1 out, none on. Zach Cohn steps in. Cohn's 2 for 3. He has singled twice, including last time up, drove in a run. He's also struck out between. First pitch here by Reed. This one is a strike down the middle, 0-1 the count. Cohn came in at 282 home runs, 17 RBIs. Got to keep him off the base paths. He has stolen 14 bags this year, tied for 5th in the league. And this one, did that hit him? That hit something.
I thought it did. Maybe it came off the end of the bat. That's what Derek Moshe's saying.
He didn't move or flinch. I guess it hit the knob, but it sounded like more like skin or a mitt or something. That was
Doesn't seem to be much argument from Zach Cohn, so maybe it did hit something other than his arm.
He's pointing to the bottom of the bat now. So it just hits the knob. No balls and 2 strikes to count either way. They set up outside, and Cordero wants it high and away. This one swung and fouled back into the screen. Count remains 0-2. You think, what are the odds of the ball hitting the knob of the bat?
Especially when you're not choked up on the bat. You basically got your hands flush with that knob. And it doesn't come off your finger or anything.
Will be pitch number 20 here from Reed. Cordero wants it in the same spot. This one is a little high and outside. Cohen laid off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here. 1 out, none on. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the 8th. They set up low and away this time. The 1-2 is slash foul onto the second deck, and ricochets down just behind the Skeeters dugout on the right side. Count remains 1-2. Don't see any action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. I know Grenning has a 5-run lead, but he's very close to 100 pitches already. No action in the Skeeters pen either, so Reed will finish at least this inning unless he gets into trouble. This one's skied into center. Derek Miller just waiting underneath it, and he'll bring it down for the second out. So 2 down, none on. Reed trying to have a 1-2-3 inning here. Skeeters tonight have had one conventional 1-2-3 inning. Ryan Wiggins will step in. He grounded into a double play his first time up. He grounded back to the pitcher his second time up and struck out last time up. He's 0 for 3. The right-handed hitting catcher will step in here. 6'1", 230 from Seattle, Washington. This one a strike. High on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Southern Maryland. 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors for the Skeeters. This one high and outside, this time 1-1. Wiggins came in an even 200, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. This one swung and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Ryan Wiggins. Wiggins in his 4th season of professional baseball. The 1-2. Swung and foul tipped into the mid of Albert Cordero, and that'll do it. Great inning for Reed. 2 flyouts and a strikeout. 1-2-3 go the Blue Crabs. Bottom of the 8th. Skeeters need to get the bats moving. When we return, they're down by 5, 6-1.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Jack and Ethan, and they're ready to take on the Air Team Heating and Cooling Frozen T-shirt contest. Boys, you can do anything you can think of to get those shirts open. You got to get them all the way on over your head. You ready? Set, go. Ooh, I'm going to move. I'm getting wet over here. All right, make some noise for them, guys. They're pretty frozen tonight. You got to get it all the way open. Who thinks this is going to be my winner right here? Make some noise for him. Oh, what about this guy over here? Come on, fans. You can do better than that. Looks like Jack's a bit further, actually. Keep pulling at it. Trying a distraction technique. Oh, it's getting close over there. You got to get it all the way on. We've got one arm in over here. Looks like Ethan's trying to put his leg through the shirt. Not really sure. Keep going, get it up over.
Well, the Blue Crabs finally go to the bullpen in this bottom of the 8th inning with a 6-run lead over the Skeeters and the first man out of the pen. For the Blue Crabs is the right-hander Sam Runyon. He has a 1-1 record this year with a 6.62 ERA in 17 games. He has 1 save. 17 2/3 innings pitched, 24 hits, 19 runs, 9 walks, 18 strikeouts for Runyon, who was a former second-round pick of the Royals in 2007 from A.C. Reynolds High School in North Carolina. It's been as high as AAA with the Royals back in 2013. He also played at the AAA level with Syracuse in the Nationals organization. And last season was with Syracuse and AA Harrisburg, went 3-2 with a 6.20 ERA.
Runyon will face Josh Prince to start it off here. Runyon in 2015 was with Harrisburg. for the Nationals chain. He played there with former Skeeter Ricky Haig, who was a big part of the Skeeters team last year until the playoffs. Went back to school to finish his degree at Rice. So on his low and away to Prince. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Also on that same team was Derek Robinson, who has played some time here in the Atlantic League. Anthony Rendon, also a Rice product. Tim Alderson, who played here with the Skeeters. This one down low 2-0. Ryan Dupre also has played here in the Atlantic League. A lot of former Atlantic League players on that team. Faced off against Madison Baumgartner in high school. That must have been some matchup.
Yeah, he actually faced him 3 times. He won twice, but the one time that they faced each other in the playoffs, Madison Bumgarner got the upper hand.
You should can say you beat a former Cy Young Award winner twice.
There you go.
The 3-0. This one is down low, ball 4. Prince was surprised. And Prince walks for the 30th time this season. Well, here comes Travis Scott. Skeeters need base runners. They're down 6-1 here in the 8th. Scott so far today is an 0 for 3 night. He has flat out to center twice, including last time up being robbed by Corey Vaughn at a phenomenal play in center. Also flat out to right. Travis 228, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs coming in. This one is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes, just below the knees.
You know, if there's any time for a left-handed hitter to hit one out of this park, now's not a bad time. The wind is not looking too fierce at the moment.
And throw to first. Prince gets back. Dupre also, while he was on the 2015 team, played with 2 interesting pitchers. One, David Carpenter, who currently leads the Atlantic League in saves with Bridgeport. Another guy you may have heard of. We'll get to in just a second here. This one is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, he wasn't there long. Obviously went down for a tune-up start, but that was Steven Strasburg. The 2-0. This one is a strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here on Travis Scott. The 2-1 here to Travis. Runyon, the right-hander, looks behind him, and there goes Prince. This one swung and chopped foul. (6-1), the Skeeters trailing here in the 8th. Trying to avoid a 3-game slide here after winning game 1. Runyon from the stretch kind of bounces up and down. Prince does not go this time. This one down the third base line. Travis Scott beats the shift again. Around second, heading for third is Prince. And he's going to stop at third. It'll be a double for Scott. And the Skeeters in business here. Runners on second and third and nobody out here in the 8th.
Skeeters have had a couple of extra base hits like that down that line at third base. And the guy who had the other one earlier in the 6th inning is coming up to the plate now, Kevin Ahrens.
Only the second runner tonight to reach third. The other one scored in Ahrens. For Scott on the season, that was double number 8. Base hit here. Could cut it to 6-3. One steps Houston native Kevin Ahrens, who has walked, scored, grounded out to third, and doubled last time up. As one of the Skeeters' 6 hits. Swung and foul tipped into the mitt of Wiggins here. No balls and 1 strike to count. Runyon does that bouncing thing on the mound without being considered a balk. This one fouled back in over our head. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
I'm not sure. I mean, usually when you would call a balk is after the pitcher has gotten into the set. It really doesn't matter how he gets to the set. If he's looking into the pitch, he's fine. And the manner at which he gets himself into a set position is up to him. But once he pauses there, then he's subject to a balk.
This one is low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Guess he's set as he's bouncing. Surprised he's never called for that. So now he's getting ready to get set. Now he's set. Now he bounces twice. Now he comes home. This one swung. He hits a third. Shortstop's going to grab it. Garcia's throw to first in time, but coming down to score is Prince, and the Skeeters trail 6-2. RBI number 30 on the season for Aarons on the 6-3 grounder. Great play by Garcia. Lozada dove in front of him, went under his glove, and Garcia stayed with it.
Yeah, good play on the defense to limit the damage there. And if you're the Skeeters, you'll take whatever you can get at this point. But you are running out of chances here to chip away at this lead more.
So 1 in, 1 out, 1 on. Brian Pound steps in. First pitch to Pound, skied right side. That'll make the seats. No balls and 1 strike to count. 6 runs on 9 hits for Southern Maryland. 2 runs now on 6 for the Skeeters. No errors on either side of the ledger. Pounds came in batting just 188 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. The 0-1, swung and fouled straight back. Healthy cut by Pounds. The catcher Wiggins wanted it outside. That caught a little bit too much of the plate. Pounds almost made him pay for it. Base hit here, could cut it in half. Skeeters trailing by 4 now, 6-2. The 0-2. Swung and fouled into the net again. Pounds is getting some good swings in here. Runyon now 16 pitches, 9 for strikes, 7 for balls. Now they have a discussion about signs with Travis Scott at second after 4 pitches. I think if they were going to steal a sign, they would have done it by now. They're going to set up outside here. The 0-2. Swung and chopped foul off of third. Now, they was talking about stealing signs, and I remember about 5 years ago they talked about the famous comeback that the Giants had in '51, and they were talking about stealing signs. Well, I say it's part of the game. You don't want your signs stolen, then don't make them that obvious.
Right. Take whatever advantage you can get.
The 0-2, swung and fouled off as Pounds, who is down 0-2, is hanging tough.
Especially in a game like this when so much is left up to chance. Whatever kind of advantage that you can get is something that you have to take and really try and get some sort of benefit from it.
And the whole point of signs is creating a language between you and your players. Well, if your language is very easy to read, it's not the opposing team's fault. The 0-2, swung and missed, strike 3. So Pounds down here. Came in tied for 4th in the league in strikeouts with 51. Now his 52nd here. First strikeout for Runyon. 2 down, 1 in, 1 on. And that'll bring in Hector Oliveira. Oliveira is 0 for 3. He is grounded to the third, hit into a fielder's choice, and struck out. First pitch is swung and hit towards short. Garcia has it. He'll fling it to first, and that will do it. 6-3 on the putout. Skeeters do get a run. They get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 8. Skeeters are trailing 6-2.
Skeeters will use their 4th pitcher on the night for this 9th inning, down 6-2 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and it's the right-hander, the side armor, Chris Tribett. No record so far this year for Tribett with a 3.97 ERA. This will be his 10th appearance with the Skeeters this season. 11 1/3 innings pitched, 16 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts for Tribett, who has been an independent league lifer. He's been in the Atlantic League, the American Association, the Pecos League, the United League, and his career in minor league baseball, 6-5 with a 3.94 ERA. And he comes on for Evan Reed. Nice 2 innings for Reed. Only allowed 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout.
Well, the Collinsville, Oklahoma native will take over here. He will pitch to 9-1-2. Brian Bistain, Jose Lozada, and Edwin Garcia. Tribett will try to get them down in order. First features a fastball, slider, and a sinker. As that hybrid of Submariner and sidearm. Kind of starts from the stretch in an L position, an upside down L anyway. One steps Bistain. He's 0 for 3. Has grounded at the third twice and grounded at the pitcher between. First pitch here by Tribett is strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. This is the 3rd stint with the Skeeters for Tribett. Got himself a ring last year, though he was not on the playoff roster. The 0-1. Swung and missed. Good slider there by Tribett, 0-2. Pretty tempting for Bistain. Of course, Tribett does not throw hard, so it looked like a big, fat, juicy pitch, but Tribett made him chase it. It's the art of pitching deception. This one swung and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout for Tribett, and there's 1 away.
And that last one was a quick pitch. That time he sped it up a little bit after showing that slow slider. Decided to change speeds and got him to chase that one.
So 1 out, none on. Back to the top of the order with the switch hitting Jose Lozada. Will bat here from the left side against the Skeeters right-hander. He has singled, walked, grounded out each of the last 2 times up. He is 1 for 3. He's also scored one of the 6 runs for the Blue Crabs. Southern Maryland leading 6-2 here in the top of the 9th. There's 1 low and in, 1 ball and no strikes to count. Lozada came in 215 with a home run and 8 RBIs. That may sound like he has not played much, but he's been in 20 games so far. 2 balls and no strikes to count here to Lozada. Correction, Lozada's been in 35 games. He has started 30. This one misses. 3 balls and no strikes here to the leadoff hitter. Skeeters trailing by 4, 6-2 here in the 9th. The 3-0, this one on the inside corner. 3-1 the count. Lozada was ready to throw away the bat. Number 4 thought it was ball 4. The 3-1. This one a high strike, 3-2. Lozada was ready to go down to first again. Patience is a virtue. So full count as Tribe tries to battle back here from a 3-0 deficit. Payoff pitch. Just misses outside, and finally, ball 4. Only the 4th walk of the night for Skeeters pitching. Second time Lozada has walked. That'll bring in Edwin Garcia. Garcia has singled, hit into a double play, struck out, and had an infield single last time up. He is 2 for 4 with a run scored. In steps the right-handed hitting shortstop. Garcia came in at 243. This one chopped foul behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike to count. When picking up a little bit here. Skeeters trailing 6-2 here in the top half of the 9th. See if Tribe can induce a double play here. The 0-1. This is a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Leading off first is Lozada. They set up inside, and this one swung hit to second. This could be 2. Prince to second to Aarons. The relay to first to Scott in time. That'll be your standard 4-6-3 double play right on cue, Chris Tribett, and that'll do it. Last chance for the Skeeters when we get back. They're down 4-6-2.
Blue Crabs will bring on a new pitcher for this bottom of the 9th inning in a non-save situation. They lead it 6-2. The man on the mound now is Zach Thornton. He comes on for his 7th appearance with the Blue Crabs this year. No record with a 1.50 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 run, just 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts for Thornton, who was drafted twice, 43rd round by the Giants in 08. From Ventura College, 23rd round by the A's in 2010 from Oregon. Been as high as AAA. Was with AAA Las Vegas in the Mets system last year. and earlier this season played for Team Israel in the 2017 World Baseball Classic.
We will face off against Cordero, Rodriguez, and Miller. Bottom of the order here in the bottom of the ninth. A split bat as he shatters it on the first pitch. And there's one away. 6-3 on the putout. One pitch, one out for Thornton. That'll bring in Wilfredo Rodriguez.
Sam Marenyan's line looks like a picket fence. Had one inning, gave up one hit, one run. It was earned, one walk, and one strikeout.
One batter needs to reach here for Jan Santi to have one more shot and extended his hitting streak to 27 games. Rodriguez is 2 for 3. After grounding out in his first trip, he has singled each of his last 2 times up. First pitch here misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Rodriguez came in 293 with a home run and 10 RBIs. Skeeters trailing 6-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. This one a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Last pitch at 88 miles an hour. The 1-1. Check swing, slow roller to the right side. Covering is Thornton, and he gets the pass. A little shovel pass from the first baseman, Zach Thornton. And there's 2 away. The last chance to extend this game and to give Anthony Jansanti a chance to extend his hitting streak. You would hate to leave him on deck. Derek Miller will step in. Miller has grounded out the third, was called out on a runner's interference in his second trip to the plate. That's really changed this ball game into a fielder's choice last time out. It was first and second at the time. Had he reached, as it looked like he did, would have scored a run, but runners on first and third in a worst case scenario with nobody out. And who knows where the rally goes from there. Because at the time, it would have made it a 3-2 game. 1-1 the count here to Miller. This one is a strike on the outside corner, 1-2, and the Skeeters down to their final strike here. Thornton gets the sign from Wiggins. The 1-2, swung and fouled off to the right side. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Derek came in at 250, 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Skeeters trailing 6-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller with that good eye, trying to get a board here. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Skeeters trailing 6-2 here in the bottom of the ninth. The 2-2, swung and hit to short. 1 hopper to Garcia, the throw in time, and that's the game. And that is also the end of Anthony Jansanti's hitting streak. It stops at 26 games. Take a look at the final numbers here. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Skeeters. 2 runs, 6 hits. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Blue Crabs. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Skeeters. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you the final numbers. Andy Humphrey will have our player of the game. We'll preview tomorrow's Game 5 matchup, highlights, and more. We'll return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment. I'll be right back.